Welcome back to the Real ENT Podcast. I'm your host, Rose for Real, and here we are with another episode of Trapping Legally, right? In episode 7, we are here to talk about consistency. First and foremost, before we get into the nitty gritty, I just want to say thank you guys for still supporting me and really chiming in to the content on the platforms that we have them on. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I appreciate all the subscribers that stand locked in with me. I appreciate everything that's going on TikTok with you guys. You guys are awesome. Instagram, I can say the same thing. I appreciate all of you. And it's my responsibility to make sure that I'm doing my part. And my part is just making sure that I'm being consistent. I'm being consistent with the content. I'm being consistent with just putting out good, positive, influential type of information to get lower and middle class individuals out of this rat race, because that's the whole point of what we're doing here. So let's just get right into the facts. And the facts is we got to make sure that we're staying positive. We got to make sure that we're speaking positive things into our lives so that when things come, we're not surprised on why these things are happening. Our words is so important to our day-to-day. If you wake up and you say, I'm going to go make $100, best believe you just curated your mind to say, yo, I want to go make $100 today. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. It's important to be positive. It's important to have that type of growth mindset to say, yo, I can do anything I need to do so long as I'm willing to put in the work. And that's how important being positive is to our natural born lives. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. People don't see how important it is to just make sure that you're speaking positive things into your day-to-day. And there's a lot of negativity out here, man. It's 2026. Being positive is almost like a chore to some people because there's so much negativity out here. There's so much of it. It's crazy, actually, when you really think about it. Because you walk down the street, motherfuckers is evil. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. When was the last time you heard somebody speak positive? Let's talk about it. I will put it in the comments. When was the last time you heard someone speak some positivity, some positive notions into your life? And how did that make you feel? And what did you respond after you heard that and received that level of positivity? Let me know, for sure. We want to make sure that we're creating a positive balance into our livelihood too. That's a good form of consistency that people don't know about. Because people think that they have all these things going on and they want to do X, Y, Z, and they wonder why they're all over the place. You're not balancing the things that you have going on in your life. You want to make sure that you are in control of your livelihood, not nobody else. You want to make sure that you're taking the wheel and you're setting things into a way where you can control all of these things. And if you're not doing that, then you wonder why you're lost or you're stuck or you just can't get it all figured out. You have to have a balance into your day-to-day. And once you create that balance, you'll be able to start seeing these positive things that's happening to you. And you'll be prepared for these things that's happening to you. You want to make sure that we're on top of that. Life is about just growth. And honestly, with the business that I have going on right now, Real ENT, it's on the map. There's a lot of expansion going on a day-to-day. The business is booming with the security. Real Rap Talks is doing what it's doing. And here we are with the podcast. So I believe that with consistency, there's a lot of good things that come out of it. So it's important that we're being consistent with anything that we have going on with our lives. And that's just the real of it. It's about showing up. We got to show up. It's the hardest part. How many times somebody try to get you in the gym and you're just like, I'm going to get there, but you don't get there. And you wonder why you're not seeing the results that you want for yourself. The hardest part in anything when you're starting something is showing up. You have to show up. That's literally half the job. Because once you get there, you're already there. All I got to do is do it now. The hardest part of hiring somebody is just getting them to get to the interview so we can actually meet. Because a lot of people think things aren't for them. It's for you. You just got to keep trying. You got to show up. It's about showing up. And I promise you, half the things that you think you can't do, you could probably do it. Because we're not put into this world for no reason. Things don't just happen just because. Everybody has a date. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has something that we're supposed to be doing. It's about, are we showing up to do it? Real spill. That's what it's all about. And people don't realize that until it's too late. But here on this platform, we want to make sure that we're putting out this level of information so you can understand today what you need to do so you can get yourself out this rat race. That's what Trapping Legally is for. That's what this is all about. You got to make sure that you have some trust into yourself, man. Because how can the people show up for you if you don't show up for you? You know what I mean? But part of that is understanding, do you trust you? If you look at yourself in the mirror today, do you trust yourself to get it done? Do you trust yourself to hold yourself accountable? Do you trust yourself to make sure that these opportunities that you have coming into your face, not only are you executing it, but are you getting the most out of it? Are you? We want to make sure that we're staying on top of these things because it's about having trust. It's about holding yourself accountable. Being accountable is important because if you're not making sure that you're on point, how can you make anyone else make sure that they're on point? Accountability breeds responsibility. I'm not sure who's watching this, but I'm pretty sure we all at a point where we have to make sure that certain things get done in order for us to eat, to sleep, to be able to put clothes on our back, for our bills to get paid, for the lights to stay on. It's all about holding yourself accountable and setting a standard and setting the bar. We have to set the bar for sure. And I'm not gonna lie to you, who you're around possibly can distract you from holding yourself accountable as well. And I'm just gonna be frank, you all who you hang around. And I'm pretty sure I've gotten to this point where I've covered this, but it's the truth. Your environment plays a major role on how your day-to-day goes. The things that you're around, the things that you watch, the people that you speak to, the people that you listen to, who's calling you, who's on the phone, who's stressing you out, who's pissing you off, who's motivating you. All these things play a major factor on your level of consistency. That's what everything that comes out of my mouth on this podcast right now all reverts back to consistency. And who you're around plays that major role in your level of consistency. Because the people that's checking in on you, the people that you're speaking to, are they holding you accountable? Are they showing up for you? Do they trust you? Are they putting that battery into your back to let you know that you're doing a great job, that you need to keep doing what you're doing, that you need to actually fix this, don't do this, look up this, research? Are they doing that for you? Are they mirroring what you need for your in the next 3 months? Are they providing that level of support for you to be who you're trying to be? Because the becoming stage is hard. When you start something, you're at zero. When I started this podcast, I was at zero. I tried to become someone that I was never alive for. I wasn't doing podcasts every week. The becoming stage is so hard because you're literally at zero. But who you're around plays that major role for you to keep going. Because when you put out this content, when you gain that feedback, it could shoot you down or it could lift you up. And that's what we're talking about. Who you're around, who's motivating you, what is it that is holding you accountable? Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. We got to be prepared because preparation says a lot on how your execution looks. It looks like on a day-to-day. When we're trying to set a goal, where's the plan? Part of execution is being able to game plan into what we're trying to do. So if the goal is to get lower and middle class individuals out the rat race, what plan has been put in place in terms of information that we can distribute when we get in front of these mics and actually put out this content? That level of preparation is ideal. And it shows. It really do. The things that you pray for, are you preparing yourself to receive the things that you're praying for? What are you doing consistently every single day to receive the things that you're praying for, so that when the time comes, not only are you receiving it, but you've been preparing to receive it. So you know exactly what to do when the time comes. Shout out to me, because the first quarter of this year has come to an end. And I said to myself, in this first quarter, I want to make sure that I'm locked in on the things that I'm committed to. And that was being in shape, starting up this podcast, getting my security business up and running with new contracts, and also creating Real Rap Talks. And I stay consistent with those things. I'm very proud of myself, because it's important to me to make sure that my legacy is being instilled, so that when it's all said and done, look what I've left behind. And that's what's important to me. And I made that a point this year to instill that level of understanding. It's important to me to make sure that I remain consistent with my body, my life, and my business. And that's what I did. Now in this second quarter, it's about elevation. It's about getting to the next step. How do I top my first quarter? And that's what this second quarter is about. So we'll talk about that when this quarter is over, on how the business is and things like that. But I think I want to make sure that I give myself a pat on the back and check in with myself to let myself know, listen, you need to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. And sometimes you get caught in life where you're not even realizing what you got going on. You're not realizing that, yo, listen, you're doing your thing out here, man. You keep doing, you're doing great. You forget sometimes because you're so caught in the mix of whatever it is that you're doing. And it happens. People get busy. Life just start lifing. Money start coming in. You forget. You stop and you literally forget about you and what you have going on and the progress that you're making. So it's important to make sure that we're giving ourselves shout outs consistently, so we see and appreciate the small things. Because it's the small things that really help you get to those big wins, those small victories that nobody wants to talk about, that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, that doesn't revolve around anything but yourself. It's those small wins, those small little things that keep you running every single day. And that reverts right back to consistency. I was listening to a friend of mine's influential soundtrack that he put up on Apple Music, and it's all about just setting the bar high. And one of the tracks is about consistency. He says, I get consistently paid because I choose every single day to make sure that I show up for the people. How can I trust you if you don't even trust you? That's what he says. And it daunts on me because it's so true. Consistency. Ask yourself, what can I be consistent on in the next 30 days that's going to allow me to have a better life moving into the next 30 to 90 days? Ask yourself, what can I do? But the thing is, we not thinking about that positive mindset. We're speaking these things into existence, which is why it goes right back to the power of the heavy word. What you say matters. Anything that comes out your mouth, make sure that it's positive. Not only is it positive, but it's allowing your mind to cultivate new things to keep growing. And we want to stay in that growth setting simply because that's where the trajectory lies. The trajectory is in your thought process, what you think. Seriously. I was reading a book and it says, we become what we think about. Real spill. And the things that we create comes directly from our minds. Mindset is everything. If you consistently have the growth type of mindset, then you will always find yourself in a place or in a position where you're going to keep continuing to grow. And that is what's important. I seen myself getting to where I want to be in terms of my business and whatnot. But it's imperative to understand that I need to understand the goal. As much as I see progress in my fitness journey, I still need to understand the goal because you're not there yet. You're getting there, but you don't want to think that you already made it. We need to recognize our patterns, how we are when money start coming in, how we are when a little bit of fame start coming in, how we are when we're down, how we are when we're happy. These are things that we need to pay attention to simply because understanding the task at hand, sometimes it gets shifted away for whatever reason. But part of being consistent is understanding your highs and lows and understanding the goal at hand to make sure that we're not getting sidetracked. I was speaking to my therapist about this, and she thinks that honestly, I'm like this a lot. I'm up and down, almost like a wave, up and down. And I always ask myself, why do I always feel so up and down? I'm so up and down because I think I'm bipolar. I'm not gonna diagnose that to myself, but I honestly think I'm bipolar. One day I'm like this, another day I'm like that. 2 seconds later I'm like this. I'm all over the place. But because I see this in myself, I know that. So now what I do, anytime I see myself get into a funk, right? I make sure that I just go put myself in a place where I could reset. And for me, I like drinking ginger ale. Ginger ale always makes me feel great, in my opinion. I like to drink ginger ale. I like food. Those are two things, me personally, it gets me right back into my happy place. I have a little job that I'm at right now and in a women's facility where I'm monitoring youth. And part of that career is dealing with people and dealing with human behavior. And I'm speaking on this because it definitely reverts to consistency. But I'm speaking on this mainly because every week, the youth that I serve consistently ask me when I'm going into these little moods, hey, did you eat today? And they already know when I'm in that mood, oh, he probably ain't eat nothing. So that's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. Consistency is important because we want to make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable to make sure that we don't fuck up. We're not missing things that we're not supposed to be missing. So it's imperative to make sure to stay out of these little situations that I'm hydrating, I'm eating, I'm doing my due diligence to make sure that I'm on point. But when I stop doing that, that's when I start seeing these little moments where I'm not on point. I'm not holding myself to a high standard because I do, and that's important to me. So if that's so important to me, what am I doing every day to consistently keep that bar at its highest? Because people will notice and they will see that. Whether they tell you or they don't, doesn't matter. They see it. So it's about making sure that I'm taking care of what I need to take care of to make sure that that level of consistency is always there, for sure. I say all the time that we got to be locked in. So what do I do? What do you do? What do we do to make sure that we are consistently being locked in on whatever the goal is? And it's all about understanding the goal, real spill. We want to make sure we notice when we're on a high. And being on a high is something that you don't even realize that you're on. You start reminiscing in the clouds and you don't even notice it. And that right there is part of understanding your patterns. Like I said, sometimes we all gotta look at ourselves in the mirror and understand who we really are. Who are we? What do we do? And what are we good at? What are we bad at? I feel like I get on a high when money start coming in, when I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel like I get on a high because I'm on top of the world. I'm traveling, I'm getting money, I'm getting good money. I look good. I feel like ain't nothing gonna stop me. But we wanna make sure, cool, you look good, you feel good, you smell good. So now what is next? We don't wanna stay placid. We don't wanna stay potent on just that one major feeling. We wanna make sure we maximize all of these feelings. And how can I feel even better than I already do? So part of me, I want to make sure that I'm staying consistent on that aspect, on catching myself when I feel like I'm getting on a high. My security business is doing really well for himself. How can I continue to make my security business better so that I don't think this little high that I have is it? Because I'm not rich yet. My Duke's pop still works. So clearly we're not all the way there, but it feels good. It feels like we are, but we're not. So what can we do to make sure that we are never satisfied at the small successes that we have, even though the small successes is what's keeping us on a consistent basis, but we want to make sure that we are always setting the bar high to keep that high level of performance and consistency. Obviously, going into May, the weather's getting nice, even though the weather is very bipolar. One day it's 80, another day it's 55. It's important to understand that just because the weather's getting nice doesn't mean that we're just gonna stop. We're just gonna stop getting things done. That's not what we're doing. No, we want to make sure that we take care of everything that we need to take care of, and holding ourselves accountable to know that, listen, prioritize what we need to prioritize so that getting things done is a consistent thing. Just because it's hot outside, that don't mean you're going to call out or bullshit or not go to the gym or not read that book or not. Just because the weather's getting nice, that don't mean you can't be locked in. None of that change. None of it should change. It should be the same mindset, the same level of execution, the same pain that you was putting in when it was cold outside. You have to earn your outings. Earn it. Because when you just doing things and you're not earning it, what are we really doing? Think about it. You go get yourself a drink. What did you do to deserve that drink? Why are you in a habitual type of place constantly and you didn't necessarily accomplish anything for you to be in that type of setting? Like, why? Why are you just doing it just to do it? Why are you not challenging yourself to make sure that we're putting ourselves in a consistent mindset to know that, listen, if I'm going to go do anything that is extracurricular, that is outside of my program of what I've instilled into myself, to make sure that I'm here and I'm getting somewhere. Outside of that program, if you go engage in any other activity, what did you do to earn that satisfaction? We want to make sure that we are earning our outings. We want to make sure that we are earning our fun. Because at this point, what is the goal? And what are we doing consistently to make sure that that goal is being met? So if the goal is to make sure that we're saving 10K in 3 months, well, what are you doing every day to consistently get there? And if you find yourself in a place where, oh, well, I'm doing that, well, is that going to reflect your goal to make sure that you get there? And if it's not, then you need to second guess what you're doing. I don't think you should go do that then. It's a simple conversation, but we avoid these things because we don't want to hold ourselves accountable. And we wonder why we are in the same place that we're in, because we're not holding ourselves to a higher standard. It's about setting the bar high. We have to get higher. We do not demand enough out of ourselves. It's imperative to make sure that we are setting the bar high enough to where the demand is there. It's not even about demanding it. You need to make sure that you are looking at yourself in the mirror every single day and you are maximizing your 24 hours. Because the same way this man is a billionaire and things like that, he had the same 24 hours as you do today to get to where he wanted to go. Whether he was inherited into it, whatever the case, it doesn't matter. We all have the same 24 hours. So if in fact that is true, which it is, we need to make sure that we're holding ourselves to a higher bar and demand that listen, I got 24 hours to be the best person that I can be. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't demand that respect from themselves. So it's imperative that if that's what you want, right? Who are you and who do you need to be around to make sure that that is consistently happening for you? You want to make sure that the people that you're around mirror where you want to be in the future. And that's real spill. That's what's going to get you out the rat race, not the same shit that you've been doing. Now, if you're okay with the same shit that you're doing, then don't be mad when time goes by and you're still doing the same things, because it doesn't add up. You can't say one thing, but yet do the other. There needs to be a level of consistency. That's just what that is. Got to stay locked in around the clock. No excuses. Don't tell me that you couldn't do this. You could have done it. You didn't prioritize. You didn't make time for it. People say all the time, I'm busy. Are you? If I was to oversee your day-to-day, are you really that busy? What is busy to you? Everybody has a different understanding of what busy is, but it's about what are you actually making time for? Now, in 2026, there's a world where there's full of distractions, but these distractions are exactly what's holding you back. That's prohibiting you from getting to the next level. We want to make sure that we're minimizing those distractions and we're starving it to the point where we're feeding our focus. And the focus is understanding the goal and what are we doing consistently to make sure that the goal is consistently being met over and over and over and over and over again. Part of being who we are is about understanding that sometimes what we do to start our days is actually so important, because how you start your day is how you're going to end your day. Me, I like to start my day making sure that I'm in the gym, because if the minute I get in the gym, I feel like everything just gets blown into proportion of I can get this done. I think better. I respond better. I act better once I get in the gym because I love being in shape. I strongly believe to this day, out of my graduating class, I still have the best knees. And I hold that to a high standard, because someone that I admire every single day is a man like LeBron James. That man's over the age of 40, 41, however old he is, and he's in the best shape of his life. That's something that I admire. So how I start my days is understanding that I need to get in shape. Being in shape for me sets the bar very high, because now that I'm in shape, I can do all things no matter what. I'm never going to put myself in a situation where, oh, I can't do that because I'm not in shape. So consistently, I go and I make sure that I work out, that I exercise, that I understand that movement is medicine for me. And that's a level of consistency that I need to be around in order for me to continue to get to that next level as I get older. All these things is important because being consistent is what's going to get you out that rat race. And that rat race is somewhere where we want to climb out of, simply because that's not where we want to be. They want you to be there. They is in our governments, our leaders in the society, in the USA. But ideally, true freedom speaks on when you can get up every single day and do whatever it is that you want to do, and nobody can tell you otherwise. That's the definition of freedom. The rat race is a circle. It's a circle that speaks as if that you are continuing to do what people want you to do. And that's not cute, simply because it's not about what they want. It's about what you want. So we need to make sure that every single day we're choosing to make those types of decisions to get us over the hump. Eventually, every single day, I consistently do what I need to do. And at this point, at this moment, I'll be able to be free. And that's what that's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rosa Real. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you subscribe, comment, share, and tell a friend. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, we're live. This is episode 7 of the Real ENT Podcast. This is Trapping Legally. Y'all stay tuned. Stay consistent. All right? Tap in.